Return on promotion scenario tab. So, the purpose of this exercise is not to get that whole aggregate view of what's going on in the promotion, but it's really to get more familiar with the operations per, sorry, the orders per thousands, or the cost per thousand, or any of that kind of stuff. So if we go through these numbers here with the orders per thousand and so on and so forth, yeah, we're we're probably going to get confused. And so what I did is I copied everything here and I just brought everything back down there. And I'll show you what, I mean, if you do take a look at it, the orders for the first time, when you're looking at that, it's kind of confusing. The formula, it says to take the orders per thousand times quantity divided by 1,000. So you understand the whole part of dividing it by 1,000 because we have one, the bottom of the equation is the denominator, call it, is expressed in thousands, and so we want to get that 1,000 out in order to get a raw number or an individual number. But why the orders per thousand is multiplied by the quantities in order to get the orders? You would think that it should just be 20 divided by 1,000, which would be 0.02 would be your amount of orders. So a little confusing at first, but whenever you're presented a question like this on the test, just bring everything down to its raw form and everything's going to make a lot more sense. So and we're going to cross-reference this with that up there. So this makes sense. Quantities, think of it as two situations like A/B split testing that he talked about, where you are trying different variables and to see which one is more successful. So let's just say in situation one, we've blasted out 50,000 postcards with subject line A. And in situation two, we did the exact same thing with subject line B. Now it shows right away that subject line B is more effective because we have 5 more orders per 1,000 than we did with subject line A. So that's the way you should be looking at things. So what does this 20 mean? What does that 20 represent? It's essentially 20. Take that 20, and in order to get this stupid M out of there, take that 20 and divide it by 1,000. Once you do that, you'll notice we have 2% response rate. We can call this response rate. Doesn't that make more sense? Same thing here. Instead of 25, let's take that 25 divided by 1,000. And so we don't have to deal with these orders per 1,000. This is what Michon wants. He wants, and he even, in fact, recommended that you guys get rid of it because you're going to confuse you. Average sales, so already this is making a lot more sense. We're making about 70,000 per unit. So 2% of 50,000 is 1,000 times 70 is whatever. We'll calculate that later. It costs us $30 to make a unit, and we earn a contribution margin of $40. Our promotion cost is 300,000. Again, we have this stupid CPM. So if the promotion cost is $350 per 1,000, let's take that and divide it by 1,000 so we can get rid of that. We're left with 35 cents. So this is our promotion. Instead of per 1,000, promotion cost per, and let's call it per mailing. Okay. 1750. Now that we see the other formulas in here, we can get rid of these thousands, and we'll get that same number again. This is the same number that we have up here, but we're just removing all of those complicated thousands. Premium cost is a set number. You can't argue with that. It's $6. Same with this. And so we have the exact same numbers as we would have up top. Yeah. So that 2% was at 20, and that 3% is at 25 orders per 1,000. Doesn't that make a lot more sense? Now let's get into the meat. The formula in here has that 1,000, which again, you have to go through all these and remove all those thousands. but let's use some logic here. How many orders did you get from this first situation? Well, we've blasted 50,000 households, and we got a response rate of 2%. So 50,000 times 2%, this times that, equals 1,000 orders. Translates into how many sales. Simply take the amount of orders you converted and multiply that by the average sales you make per order. 1,000 times 7 equals 70,000. Same thing for cost. $30 per order times 1,000 equals 30,000. And it's the exact same thing for contribution margin, gross contribution. Take sales minus cost equals 40,000 contribution margin. Then we would like to collect all of this and keep it to the company, but unfortunately we did spend some money on the promotional ad, and that is the promotional cost of $17,500. We just take that from right here. That's how much it costs us in order to send the 50,000 postcards, call it. And so we take that 40,000 minus 17,500, and then we also have this premium. Again, I don't know what a premium is. It might be, think of it like postage. So if it costs you $6 of postage, then no, not really postage, because you're not. This is not $6 times 50,000. It's $6 times 1,000. So you do the premium. I don't know. I look at it as the cost of service a client. Really, you have 1,000 orders, and it costs you $6 to serve them, for example, and that's the premium. I couldn't tell you what premium means. So yeah, $6 times 1,000 is 6,000. Your net contribution is the gross contribution minus these two costs. And there you are. So this gross contribution, which we would have liked to keep in the company, but we spent money on the campaign, and we spent money on this premium bullshit. Okay, so what are we left with? Profit per response. That's as simple as taking the net contribution that we earned. So this is how much, think of it like profit. And we're taking that profit, dividing it amongst those that responded. So we're making $16.50 profit per converted order. Our return on promotion is a very high 94%. Reason being is because we have it cost us $17,500 in order to run the promotion, and we brought in a net contribution, or think of we brought in profit of $16,500. So we were just shy of $1,000. $1,000 more in profit. We would have had a 100% return on promotion, which is pretty freaking high. Then there's situation 2, when we have subject line B, we see a 1% higher response conversion rate. Well, not 1%, but 0.5% higher in terms of the response rate. Everything is still very self-explanatory here. Orders, again, we have to get rid of the 1,000. So we're just taking the 50,000 people that we tried to communicate with, and the conversion rate of 2.5% to get the amount of qualified leads or orders as a result of that campaign with subject line B. Sales is $87,000. That's the same as up here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so as we go down, so this is all the same thing. As we go down, the profit, we're making 50 cents more per response. And so that's $17, or the net contribution plastered or applied over the 1,250 orders that were funneled in through that campaign, with a return on promotion of, what was it, 121%. And we get that number by taking the net contribution divided by the actual cost. So this one doesn't have you see, this number is lower than the cost. That's why we only have a 94% return on promotion, whereas this number is greater than our cost. We have the same cost, just a different subject line, and that's why we have a well over double our return on promotion. And then you want to calculate the variation. So what is the variation between using subject line A in situation 1 and using subject line B in situation 2? Well, we get 250 more customers. We have 1,700. We earn 17,000 more dollars. Sure, we have 7,500 more cost, and this is just, everything is situation 1 minus situation 2. You see in the formulas. And the profit per response, we're making 50 cents more. Clearly evident just by looking at the $16.50 to $17. And we're making 27% greater return on profit. So this is usually used for A/B split testing. You look at both situations, which yields a better response, and you know that moving forward, we're going to start using situation 2's subject line for all marketing communication.